So first one, if you didn't see on our story, it was if there's one clip to get anyone, like someone who's not into anime, hooked onto anime, which one would you use? So like, I have a couple different ones that you could use, but for different reasons. And I thought that when I was coming up with this list that I was going to stay away from shows that like these were the fight scenes that were the climax of the show. Because like if you show them the best of something and then they go and watch it, they're like, "What? I thought it was all like this."
But that's the thing, though. This is the tricky part because obviously you don't want to show them something that spoils anything big, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Right. But then also you have to make a big impression, especially if it's someone who's like anti-anime.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you do have to show the big fight.
Right.
Because I feel like, at least in my opinion, when trying to show somebody something from anime, like you have to show them like a fight or something with sick animation, for sure.
Like that's like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that makes sense.
So my list is kind of spoiler heavy a little bit, in a way.
Yeah.
But if you're really trying to make that impression, you kind of have to, in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's see what you got, and then I can try to see if I can match it.
I had the controversy with Obito.
Okay.
Because it's not a bunch of spoilers. Like the only thing, like if they really pay attention, is like, oh, Obito's wearing the same costume, or he wasn't even wearing the mask when he has Obito. No, it was broken. But like remember when he has like the white mask on and the bandana, wearing the same outfit. That's like the only thing.
Yeah.
And then in the fight, they talk about how Obito's evil now, and then
the children,
backstory sort of thing. So like you get the idea that they were friends and now they're fighting, and like it looks great animation. It's clean.
Amazing animation.
Yeah. I think like the coolest scene was when Obito pulls back on his past self and then tries to stab like young Kakashi.
Yeah.
Like that's hype so much. And then when I was also coming up with this, I thought to stay away from things from Dragon Ball, especially from Z. I mean, you could show them like Dragon Ball Kai, like Gohan versus Cell. But even then, I feel like you need the backstory of why Gohan's so pissed and why it's a big deal.
And not to mention, Dragon Ball is kind of a big endeavor to drop yourself into.
For first animes, yeah.
So, like, my thing is, I didn't add Dragon Ball either for that reason, because I feel like that's something you just need to, like, watch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because if you show someone the Dragon Ball or the Cell Gohan fight, like I did, like I found it on YouTube and I was like, oh, this is sick. Because like I said, I've only watched bits and pieces of Dragon Ball on Toonami as a kid. So like I was expecting that all the time. So like the whole time I'm like, where's this Gohan Cell fight? Where is the sick fighting? Like why am I just super bored during this Saiyan arc right now, you know?
Because like a thing too with that is like you can't, like the thing with Dragon Ball is that you can't show it works so well because you're like the character, like your protagonist is up against like, or you think that they're up against like this huge wall of just power. Yeah. And then you show them like the Gohan fight, like you have no idea like how much they had to overcome so that they can do that much damage to the villain, then it's just not going to do anything. Like it doesn't carry as much weight, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
So that's why I thought to avoid like Dragon Ball, like it might be a little extra.
Yeah,
but then,
I agree.
I mean, you could show like the Dragon Ball Super movie.
True.
Because the only thing that's spoilers is
like Frieza.
Yeah.
Frieza's resurrection.
Yes. And then like transformations.
Which I feel like isn't that big of a spoiler anyways.
No.
Because they're just going to get more and more. Transformations anyways, because I mean they keep getting a new transformation like every arc in Dragon Ball Z, so it's kind of, and everybody, even people who don't know anime, knows Ultra Instinct, right?
And they know Super Saiyan,
so it's like it's not a huge transformations. I feel like isn't a huge spoiler, but so like Super could work, or even like maybe some Tournament of Power stuff, like maybe a hit fight or something.
The Kefla, the Kefla Ultra Instinct fight would be really good.
Sick, or even just the end of that fight.
Yeah. The end of that fight when Goku uses the Kamehameha to like glide over her attack, that was smooth.
Clean.
That was smooth. But then again, that could be spoilers for
True.
upcoming tournament against other universes, because they're gonna be asking questions the whole time that you're showing them. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like the only thing I could have thought of, but then everything else was like a con, essentially, for showing anyone a Dragon Ball fight.
I agree.
And then I think a really good one also is from Mob Psycho Season 2, which was Mob against the spirit that possessed the girl. That was like the rich man's daughter.
Yeah.
Do you remember the very beginning of the show?
Yeah. But, like she's possessed and he hires like every sidekick available.
Exactly. And then like that fight specifically, because it's aesthetically pleasing, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And then like it just like again the animation's too good.
For Mob Psycho 2, I was thinking the fight with the guy that can teleport.
I put that down too.
Because that one is crazy, and it's not necessarily spoiler heavy in terms of Mob.
But like I was thinking, like for us watching that weekly, it was crazy because we saw like a huge aspect of the world that they were in, and then we kind of set like a standard on like our own like power scale. And then we see that teleportation fight, and we're like, "This guy's insane." Yeah. Like you can't even like keep him still to like focus and do like your telekinesis or whatever on him.
Yeah, true.
So like I don't know. I mean, it still looks really good.
Oh, it just looks good. Which is I feel like is the main thing. As long as it looks appealing, because that's the main thing you try to hook someone on. At least I think. Because
then they're drawn in, wanting more questions, things like that.
Exactly.
And that's also a good one because it's not the climax of the show.
There's still other fights that are really good. Main characters. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of
Mom's not even involved in that fight.
But yeah, or even the fight where he's fighting. You could do the fight where he's fighting the whatever the kid with the blonde hair, the wig guy.
From season 1.
So you could do that fight with the teleportation guy. That kid's fight with the teleportation guy, or the one where he's fighting all of the espers that are like on Mob's side. Because that's a super sick fight. But I think that's a good one. Yeah. Because, like I said, it just looks so cool. And the way they did the teleportation just looks so good.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Diego said the first time matchup between Lancer and Archer, which I haven't seen. Ooh,
that is a good...
Which I haven't seen that, but I know the Fate series has, like, some of the best animation. Like,
a lot of fights from Little Big Blade Works could work, too. Because it's not, like, a climactic fight that, like, spoils, essentially.
True, yeah.
Keep going on. I had a question. Is there a JoJo fight that's good enough?
No, I don't think so because they're so drawn out.
Yeah, and
it's like a span of like 2 episodes. Yeah, and it's the whole show. I mean, maybe like
part 3 or part 4.
Maybe part 3 or part 4. Like,
I mean, I feel like it would have to be like 3 and on.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe. I wouldn't even
say anything from part 2.
No,
because part 3. Because part 3, I mean, you could do like. The Iggy Pet Shop fight's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll avoid part 3 spoilers,
Hangman he's the guy that can jump from mirrors. That fight's cool, but it's just long is the issue. That's the thing with JoJo's. The fights are, since they're 2-3 episodes each and it's just in the end of the week, it's kind of hard.
And I feel like you can't even do Pet Shop because it's animals fighting and that might weird people out.
True, yeah. It's like, especially with the background of Iggy, that's what made that fight so sick.
Yeah, because like I was... Like, if you wanted to show that fight, it would have to be someone that was like, that would appreciate, like, oh, they're pinned up in this really hard situation, and I couldn't think of anything for them to get out of it, but then they were still able to.
Yeah. Or like the Vanilla Ice fight. But like I said, it's like, if you're trying to show somebody that, they're going to have to dedicate like 20 minutes to the episode. Yeah. Or they're going to have to watch a full episode or 2 just to get the fight, which makes it hard. That's why I didn't have JoJo on the list, because the fights are so long.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why
especially part 3, especially part 3 fights, because whereas part 1 or part 5's like 1 episode maybe, but part 3 is like 3 episodes of fight. Yeah, because I mean it's what, like 40-50 episodes in total, including part 1 and 2. So it's just super long. Yeah, and there's necessarily snippets of it that you could show that make it really good, because it's all build up and like context based. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
which is why I didn't have JoJo on the list. But sorry, you were.
No, you're cool. Like I'm agreeing with you on anything you're saying, because like it's just like I feel like a lot of the things like that you appreciate out of JoJo is how well like the fights go, like how the characters are able to get out of a situation when they're pinned up against a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially because like the one thing that I could really think of that was really good from part 3 was the Vanilla Ice fight. But then again, that's like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, and even the context, you're like, okay, why is there a dog here?
Why they're vampires?
Yeah, why are they talking about vampires and DOs? Like
exactly.
There's just so much stuff where you're just like, what the
and
hell?
like a thing too, because like you're open to the world of stands, and like you have your own idea of power scaling up until like that ending stretch of part 3, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So then like you really like appreciate like how OP like Vanilla Ice is, and then how they get out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was most of my list.
Okay.
So what you got, man?
I got a couple from Attack on Titan. So either Levi versus Annie.
Okay.
You know, that's the first time he does like the crazy spin attack. Because that's not necessarily super spoiler heavy. The Levi Kenny fight where he's in the streets and he's running away from the police.
That is good.
Right? That's a good one.
That is really, really good.
And it's season it's like the beginning of season 3, so it's
beginning. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
So it's not like big stuff. And if you really want to get crazy and you really don't care about spoilers, then obviously Levi Beast Titan.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily need to know the context of what's going on. Because you're like, okay, there's a dude, there's this weird, huge thing, and he's just popping off.
Yeah. Great point.
So that's any of those 3. It just depends on what you want to show.
See, Diego, we're split on whether or not Last Airbender is anime. So.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah. I mean, I said, like, the animation style makes it an anime, but that's a whole other argument. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's those 3, just depending on what you want to show someone. If you want to show someone a fight, then Levi versus Annie or the Beast Titan. But if you want to show someone, like, super cool animation where Levi's, like, going through like carriages and going through the streets and stuff, the Levi Kenny fight is super sick.
I think that's,
and it's pretty pretty short. Like you can just show them a short snippet and you don't get like any spoilers. Really.
True, but like that's not the beef of like Attack on Titan.
That's true, which is why like the Levi Annie fight you could show them.
Yeah,
you can get it because they're like, okay, there's this big thing. And there's this one dude just popping off. Like, what's going on, right? So any of those 3, I think, are good though. Because you could do the Levi Kenny fight and just be like this. Watch this animation. This is how the animation looks. This isn't necessarily how the show goes, but this is how it looks and how a lot of the fights are. Yeah. So which would I guess you could kind of, but I do agree. I think Levi Kenny would be like the last one I'd show somebody. Because like
I mean, it looks
so good.
Yeah. Sorry, bird. Whatever. Anyway, it's like back to the thing. Like, it's weird to think about because you see like how good Levi is with the ODM gear because no one else in the show has been moving like that ever.
Only one close is Mikasa.
Yeah, and like hers was like very mild. Close. Yeah, compared to how Levi was moving in that sequence.
I guess Kenny too.
And then Kenny.
That's it though.
Yeah. Because then like you watch that, go back to season 1 of Attack on Titan, and that's not what you're getting.
It's very basic. Yeah.
So I don't know. Ooh. Akame got killed?
See, that's what I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the fights just end up with main character deaths. Which is why I was thinking about putting it, because like there's some sick fights, especially the last fight. But I was torn because if I do show someone spoilers, I at least don't want it to be like something that big, because that's like kind of what the whole show is like around, like each character like slowly dying in Night Raid.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's Akame got killed is tricky, because I was thinking about it, because especially like some of Akame's fights or like some of the assassinations that they do are super sick.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But that one's a tricky one too, because like I said, like spoilers, I kind of don't necessarily care too much, but if it's something like that big,
then like I'd hold off on.
But then again, there are fights where there's someone that doesn't die. It's just they're not as good.
Yeah, I feel it.
But I also have the first Naruto and Sasuke fight.
That's good too.
Just like a snippet of it, like before the transformations, where they're like, where like Naruto like the classic clip where like Naruto like punches Sasuke like 3 times in the stomach. And
Oh yeah. Oh wait,
like, the animation looks so good.
I can't remember if he was transformed or not when he did that, but
He might have been, but
it still looks good.
That's Sasuke is not transformed.
Yes. And they've hinted at his power way before that.
Oh
too,
yeah,
so.
you know of the curse seal and like what powers it does have.
Yeah.
And then I have the first 5 minutes of Kizumonogatari. I know I always talk about Kizumonogatari.
Oh yeah, you showed me that one.
Have I showed you the first 5 minutes though?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that fight.
That fight is also an option, but the first 5 minutes are really intriguing because it's like just really good animation. It's super clean, no talking. All you have to go off of is just like the way that the main character is acting. So he's like walking through this building, and he's like super agitated and like anxious, and he's looking around, and like he walks outside and he's like breathing super heavy, and you can tell he like really wants to get outside, and he gets outside and he sees the sun, and then he catches on fire, and then he's like freaking out, and like he's like screaming in pain and all this stuff, and then it just like shows him on the ground burning, and it pans out, and then it goes black. And then the movie actually starts.
Yeah.
So like I showed like Cindy it. She was like, I kind of want to watch that.
Like what's going on? Right?
Yeah, because it's really intriguing and like no talking, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good clip, as well as that fight is really cool. Especially except there's like big spoilers in that fight, but I think it's good because of the animation more so in this specific clip rather than anything, and there's like no spoiler.
Right.
And then obviously I have the guy Madara fight.
That's good.
Because that's a nuts fight.
I thought about doing it, but then again, like it kind of.
But the context is weird, and like
the context is weird.
The power up is weird.
Yeah, you don't understand like how big of a deal it is for him to go 8 gates.
And you get a spoiler of Madara. But I thought, in terms of Shippuden, I thought that was a really good fight to show. Yeah. Compared to most. Just because it's super easy to just like watch really quick, and it's not super huge spoilers compared to like Naruto Pain and it's a relatively short-ish fight compared to the most, and you could just show like a small clip from it. And then the last one I have, this one I said because of how like minimal spoiler it is the first fight in Parasite in the end of the first episode when he fights the dog. Yeah. I thought that was a good one because it's like pretty brutal. The main character doesn't even know what's going on, so you're not going to know what's going on if you've never seen it. Exactly. And it's in the first episode, so yeah, it's not a huge spoiler. No. And then it still gives you a taste of what the show's going to be like, because it's still pretty bloody and like nuts. So that's actually the last one on my list.
So I just added a couple more. So I had Wrath versus Greed. The first Greed.
That's a good one.
I thought that one you could also do. I was surprised I didn't do Gon versus Hisoka. I didn't add Gon versus Hisoka.
I was thinking of it, but since I love Hunter x Hunter so much, I would never show anybody something from Hunter x Hunter because I wouldn't want to spoil it at all.
Well, let's see, but that's not like a huge spoiler, I feel like, because you're introduced to how Nen works. Like the only thing
I guess the only thing that's really spoiler is Hisoka fighting. Yeah. But
you could be put off by the whole swing thing. Yeah. True. So that's not. I mean, you could just show like the clip of just Gon landing the punch, and then you can stop it there.
Or you could, but the thing is with that fight is it's so huge because you know Gon is trying to just get one punch on Hisoka because of things that were set up way earlier on in the show. Yeah, true. And you know how bad Hisoka is. I feel like almost in a way you could show like Godspeed versus Yuppie or.
I don't know if I would show Godspeed.
Or you could even show Uvo versus Kurapika, or you could just show Uvo, or you could do Uvo versus the what are they called? The Beast guys?
The Phantom Beast?
Is it Phantom Beast? Because I want to say that, but
I feel like it's Phantom Beast. Can't remember.
Shadow Beasts. Because that's not a huge spoiler, and it's kind of nuts. Yeah. And it's just Uvo fighting 4 random dudes.
True.
I always thought that fight was funny, how much they hype up the Shadow Beast, and he just like
Comes out of nowhere.
absolutely gave some in less than an episode.
Yeah.
Or you could do. You could do like. There's so many Chimera Ant fights.
Yeah.
Like,
you could. Oh, the one of Killua. When he flips the girl's head.
Yeah.
And then you just see like the screen flips up around, and then you find out that it was Killua that flipped it.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Because there's some good, just like Killua just assassinating people clips, or even the one in the Tower of Heaven where he approaches those dudes that are like messing with Gon to try to get them to stop fighting, and he's like basically just telling them he will kill them.
Yeah.
Because you could just show that fight, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is bad."
Yeah, like this kid's bad news. Yeah.
Or like, there's a lot of good Phantom Troop stuff, like them fighting the Chimera Ants, or just random hunters fighting Chimera Ants. Or you could show the Hisoka fight versus the Butler.
Yeah, the coins.
There's a lot of, or even like Killua ripping that dude's heart out in the Hunter exam. Like, there's little small things you could definitely probably show.
Yeah.
But the thing with Hunter x Hunter is like it's obviously the story and the writing that's bigger than the fights.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
But the fights are still well done.
But the fights are great. It's just, compared to like Levi and the Beast Titan, it's not like as nuts, and the nuts ones are huge spoilers.
Yeah. So like,
and since that's
Mary Metro, you'd avoid for sure.
Yeah, especially since that's my favorite show. Like,
yeah,
I would avoid spoilers. Or like Naruto or Monogatari or Attack on Titan. Yeah, they're still really good. It's just I don't care as much showing those compared to like what I think is the best show.
Exactly.
Because if I'm trying to get someone in, I want to get them in and then watching that show, right? So that's why I didn't put Hunter x Hunter on this list. But I think there are some, now that I think about it, I think there are some pretty decent fights in there that you could add that would probably get people hooked.
Yeah.
I think.
Another thing too, would you want to show like any of like the My Hero fights? Because like I wouldn't show All Might versus All for One.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to show.
I wouldn't show Deku's Detroit Smash either.
No, against Muscle Man.
You could do.
Or Muscular.
You could do like Bakugo Deku.
You could. Because that looks it looks cool. Mm-hmm. Like all of Bakugo's fights look cool just because of the explosions.
Yeah, exactly. And that fight's not super huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is, but like from the beginning of the show, Deku or Bakugo doesn't like Deku. Mm-hmm. So like if you show them the Bakugo Deku fight from season 3, and then they watch it, they're obviously not going to be too spoiled because they know that Deku hates.
I mean, it just would be spoiled for Deku getting a quirk.
True. Yeah.
And the full Cowan.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot.
So I guess maybe not.
I mean, you could do like.
What about Bakugo against Todoroki?
Yeah, at the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, you spoil a tournament, but.
Yeah.
If it's a shonen, like.
If you're getting into anime, like you're gonna get tournaments.
You're gonna pick it up. There's tournaments and everything.
Yeah.
I think that is a good one. What else is there? You could do actually, I don't know. I would say like the Stain fight's pretty good, but I don't know.
I feel like you can't really show that because like it's a new. Because like, I feel like you need the previous episodes to show like why he's so crazy about trying to kill these kids who are trying to be heroes.
I agree.
And then why Lita is so like motivated to defeat Stain.
Yeah.
So.
As well as like, what else is there? Is there even like anything hype in season 1? I guess
season 1.
I guess you could do like All Might versus
the
one
Nomu.
of the Nomus, but
I wasn't.
They're not that. It's not that big. Like that compared to like Levi versus Annie is like night and day. Depending on like night and day, comparing which will get you hooked. Right?
Exactly.
I don't know. I think I'd leave. my hero off, personally.
Yeah, but the only thing I could think of was Bakugo against Todoroki. That's like,
Yeah.
these are like the extent. Because I don't think Todoroki used his fire against Bakugo, didn't he?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he only used it against Deku.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not like a huge spoiler
Mm-mm.
of Todoroki's quirk or anything.
I mean, you kind of, because isn't Bakugo like egging him on to use the fire though?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you'll kind of pick it up, but it's still not huge.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't think so either. And then I didn't think to show any Bleach fights, because if I wanted to show one, that's like insane. It'd be his transformation, and that's spoilers.
The Ukiura transformation.
Yeah. Spoilers.
That's huge spoilers.
Huge spoilers. And then
Because that spoils like 3 different transformations.
yeah. And then I thought about doing like Ichigo against, like Uryu against Mayuri. But then again, like it's like that's not Bleach.
Yeah, because it's Uryu.
It's Uryu against like Captain, which never happens.
It's like a one
Yeah.
thing, and Uryu is a Quincy, which is he's like the only one.
Exactly.
So.
And like I wanted to show, if I wanted to do something else that's kind of like more Bleach focused, which was like Ichigo against like the Espada, that's spoilers. Or if I did Kenpachi against the one dude that has 4 arms.
Yeah.
So that's a cool fight, but it's long.
True.
It's like I can't do it. And then there's also spoilers that come in after that.
True. I was just thinking, what about Doppio Metallica? That's a short fight.
That is short. And it's...
I mean, you do spoil Doppio, but you won't know it's Doppio until you see it.
Until you finish.
Yeah. Pretty much until like the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
The fight's pretty short.
Yeah.
And it's sick.
But, yeah.
And
but I mean, even then, like, I feel like it comes back to, like, you don't realize how crazy it is because of how you don't, like, if you see that, you're like, oh, Metallica's power is like a standard in JoJo. And then you start part 5 or even part 3, you're like he beats out a bunch of these guys.
True.
And then you reach the conclusion of that fight, and you're like, what the? So,
True.
I'm just, you know, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just trying to be spoiler free.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess you do spoil Epitaph.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a big deal, but I mean, I don't think it's like that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But that's like I was just thinking. I think that's like the only real JoJo fight that could really catch anyone's attention, because especially the animation is so good. They poured a bunch of budget into that fight.
Yeah,
sure.
That fight was so good.